Between Hillsdale and Grand Valley is nothing new, but this year the coaches for both sides are. Todd Mittmesser takes over at Hillsdale for Claudette Charney, who resigned last spring. And after the resignation of Janelle Burgess, Grand Valley tapped Mike Williams to head up the Laker program. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fieldhouse Arena in Allendale at Grand Valley State University. I'm Tom Cleary, your host for the action today here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network. Both teams generally going in the right direction. They're both in the playoff picture right now, but they've both had some difficulties. Hillsdale's had kind of a bulky offense the last couple of games. They played 2 games last week in the UP where they didn't have a double-figure scorer. And Grand Valley is now playing without their tallest player, Corinne Hinska, who hurt her leg last Saturday in a win against Northwood and is now out for the remainder of the season. Should be a good one. The Lakers have been very tough at home with a great defensive effort. We'll see how it all shakes out in Game 1 of our GLIAC doubleheader here today. It's Grand Valley and Hillsdale coming up next on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
And as we conclude with the player introductions, that's Kayla Dawson running out right now for Grand Valley. We're just moments away from the start of the first game of our GLIAC women's and men's basketball doubleheader today here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network. And there you see Bailey Kierndorf, who will take on an ever-increasing role with Grand Valley. The Lakers suddenly in a bit of a spot with some injury trouble. A week ago today, they lost Corinne Hinska, their tallest regular, to a knee injury that'll keep her out for the remainder of the season. That was in the win here against Northwood. And then on Thursday, the Lakers came up just a little bit short at Saginaw Valley. Brianna Barnett actually had a very productive game scoring-wise, but she's been having some problems, we think, kind of a back issue right now. She's in clothes, sort of gym clothes, if you will, on the bench, but we're told she will not play today either. So Grand Valley, which already had rotation problems due to the fact that Hinska was not able to play on Thursday, the bench gets a little bit shorter. There are some people on the bench that are going to play a lot more today. Players like Taylor Parmley and Lindsay Baker, and Janae Langs moves into the starting lineup to replace the injured Barnett. Janae Langs did something this week on Thursday that's rather amazing to me. She's the shortest Laker player out there at 5'4". She had 9 rebounds in the contest on Thursday night. I don't know what the record is for Division II, but that's awfully good. In limited minutes off the bench to get 9 rebounds. Piper Tucker turned down a 3 she probably should have taken. Lutz will not turn it down, but she'll leave it short. That ball was knocked out of the hands of Kayla Dawson by Hillsdale's Kelsey Cromer, who's coming off a very fine game. She had 23 in a win on Thursday that Hillsdale had against Ferris, 88-75. Grand Valley very much a three-point shooting team, and there's one of their better ones. You could tell that one was never going to get there out of the hands of Bailey Cairnduff, though. And here comes Hillsdale on its first possession. Brittany Gray is 10. 11 is Becca Schurting. She's got the ball right now. They're in the backcourt, along with Morgan Blair. Allie Dittmer up front. And Cromer's in there, and that's a travel call against the visitors, and Grand Valley gets it back. We had played just about a minute to the first quarter here. One of the switches in college basketball at the women's level that we have seen this year. As we take a look at Mike Williams, women are playing quarters, and we've talked to some people as to how it changes things, and nobody's really quite sure why. And there are a lot of different theories as to why the women have opted for that, but they have, and it doesn't fundamentally change the game. Maybe substitution patterns, timeouts, things like that. But for the most part, it's the same game, and that's going to be a foul against Dittmer, who was a little late on the spin by Piper Tucker. Really not much of a foul at all, maybe a little bit with the body. Dittmer, 6'1", sophomore from Eaton Rapids, and this is Piper Tucker, who line drives one up and in. First-year coach of Hillsdale is Todd Mittmesser. He's had numerous ties to basketball in the Midwest and in Michigan as a prep coach as well. Coldwater native watches as Piper Tucker knocks down a pair, and the Lakers have the early first half lead. Grand Valley has really begun to pride itself on defense. Here's Cromer inside, and that's just a travel. And the man with the whistle on that particular play was Kent Graves, who's our lead official today with J.R. Schoon, and Sean Miller working this one. Good refereeing crew that we have. We've seen all these gentlemen here in the past as they take charge of this one. Women's college basketball coming your way today on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Tom Cleary, your host for the action. That's a ball that got tipped right back to Langs. Made kind of a casual pass to Dawson, who's been rather quiet here in the early going. She's usually a person that gets into the act right away. And that is going to be a foul. It goes against Cromer, and I don't think that Todd Mittmesser liked that all that much, and kind of a touch foul. That goes against Brittany Gray. Here's Grand Valley after the inbounds play. Here's where Dawson likes to show it and go. She'll go to the basket. Well, that's a clever move there by Dawson. We're going to call a held ball here. This will be basketball belonging to Hillsdale. Dawson is a player that will throw herself into people, and she'll try to play for the contact, but Hillsdale, which was a little bit unlucky on some of the prior calls, maybe got a bit of a break on that one. Dittmer inside, nice little feed there. The shot will not go, but the putback will. And it's Brittany Gray off the miss, following up for the first goal of the game for either team. Lang's a pretty good jump shooter and a player who will shoot off the dribble. Lutz forced her way all the way out. That's Tucker from outside. Nice block off inside. They got a body on Dawson. And here comes Hillsdale with a chance to lead. Schurting. Cromer. Real fine game on Thursday for her. Big game for Hillsdale to win. Back cut there. That ball bounced off the foot of Cairnduff. I think they're going to call a kick. Inbounds with 16 on the shot clock. Men's game today at about 3 o'clock here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network. Hope you'll stick around for that one. That is a long triple try that is wild, but stays in bounds because of the angle from which it was shot. Hillsdale's got it back, but the clock is running down. Gray off her foot. Oh, Kayla Dawson had the best look at that. She was certain she had knocked it off the Hillsdale player's foot. Grand Valley's going to pack it in. They're going to make Hillsdale shoot a long one here. Hillsdale now aware that the shot clock has run down, but they got a nice look inside. The shot will not go, but there is Dittmer, who took it right away from Lutz. Grand Valley a little sloppy on what should have been an easy rebound, and Hillsdale on top now. Here's Cairnduff. They're trying to get in there to Tucker, and now they've called a foul, and I think this is another one is Dittmer, and 5 new players in for Hillsdale. How about this? Massive substitutions. That's a complete new power play unit that's out there right now for the Chargers. So we'll try to tick off the names of those Hillsdale players that are in there for you momentarily. Second foul on Dittmer, she had to come out. Karen Duff now. Grand Valley still got its starting 5 in, but they'll get a substitution soon. Dawson, I thought, took steps there. She got one leg out and then kind of tripped and dragged the back foot, but hit the bucket and they let it go. So Kayla Dawson with her first score, but a big score for Grand Valley. That's a nice play by Tucker, flashing in the lane. Here's Langs. Dawson. Langs from the top for 3. It's going to be short. That is a rebound for Kayla Gefford, who's going to bring it up the court. She's out there now with McKenna Ott. 20, 14 is Sarah Toit. Allie Dwyer's got the face mask on right now. She comes to the head of the key. And the 5th player out there. As we get the bucket from Dwyer is Madison Berry. To travel on Dawson, who's been trying a little bit too hard here offensively. Got away with it last time, but not this one. Taylor Parmley is on, and Kieran Duff goes out early on. Slow start for the Lakers, only 4 points and only 1 goal in the first 4.5 minutes of the opening quarter. Boy, nice seal off inside by Hillsdale, but the shooter, Allie Dwyer, couldn't get the shot down, but she ran all the way over to the other side of the lane to grab the ball and then got fouled on the putback. So Grand Valley getting beaten to the punch right now at the Hillsdale offensive end. Hillsdale doing a good job on the offensive glass, and that's a ball that Parmley was just too casual. Thought it was coming right to her. She was all alone, but didn't see Dwyer coming from the other side. So here's Allie Dwyer, still trying to adjust that mask. A freshman, as you can see, from just the other side of the border. Toledo player. And here's Lindsay Baker in now, replacing Tucker. So these are the 2 that we expected to see a lot of today for Grand Valley into the game right now. And when you look at the Grand Valley bench, it may not go a whole lot deeper than that. Dwyer has 3 points. Leads both teams in scoring here in the early going. Lutz. Langs. They got knocked off the ball. It's a great job of trapping by Hillsdale. Now Lutz finds Dawson. Open look for 3, and it's through. Kayla Dawson created her own space. It seemed like everybody was getting sucked into the lane area. She stayed away, got the ball, and knocked it down. After a miss by Hillsdale, Grand Valley on the move again. Nearly a held ball there. That's a force that doesn't draw a rim from Taylor Parmley. Hillsdale on the move again from just inside the arc. That shot goes down from Madison Berry. And look at this. They're coming at Grand Valley in waves today. 5 players up, 5 players coming in. 10 substitutions in the first 5+ minutes for Todd Midmesser. And a foul will stop the clock, and that takes us to a break. More to come here today on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Gotta go! I'd like to welcome you to our basement. I'd like to read a brief statement. We, the Hubacher family, are pleased to announce today that we've acquired the following players: Buster Posey, Mike Trout, Yadier Molina, Bryce Harper, Derek Jeter, and Miguel Cabrera. We believe that this demonstrates, once again, our family's unwavering commitment to assemble the very best team in this neighborhood.
Mr. Hubacher, you've really upped the ante here. How do you expect the other families in the neighborhood to respond?
Well, the Harris family's going to be none too pleased.
Word is the Harrises are putting together quite a team of their own. Any concerns?
Under Cliff Harris's mismanagement, they already used up all their wall space with a bunch of paintings. I mean, really, come on.
Dad.
I know.
All right, next question.
Start building your own dream team at fathead.com.
All right, slow start for the Lakers here today against Hillsdale. And we're seeing a little bit about the coaching personality of that gentleman right down there in the gray jacket and the purple shirt. Todd Midmaster took 5 players out at about the 3-minute mark and then put them back in just now. This is the starting group, with the exception, I think, of Dittmer, who's still out of there. So that's actually somebody on now that hasn't been in until now. Lutz trying to force it up from inside. Got the shot off somehow. Grand Valley should be able to run this down. They do with Langs. And Langs made a terrible pass, put it right into the hands of the Hillsdale player, and then Langs commits the foul against Brittany Gray. Now, Grand Valley, again, just a little bit careless with the basketball. They got possession, and Langs threw kind of a soft lateral pass right back into the fray. Hillsdale got it, came down and drew the foul. This is Cromer, who has not yet scored in the contest. Looks like she's about ready to change that. Misses the shot. Great block out by Dawson. It's going to be out of bounds to Hillsdale. Better from Grand Valley that time, but still not controlling the defensive glass in the fashion in which their coach intends. So now Scherting will send it in. This is Morgan Blair. Cromer from just inside the arc, and Grand Valley finally gets a rebound. It's taken down by Parmley. Here comes Lutz. Now he's going to get Cairnduff back on. Langs has not had a shot attempt yet. Dawson. The ball tipped out of bounds. Langs came up with it, but then she threw it away. Sliding out of bounds, really had nowhere to go with it. Had to do something. Cairnduff comes back in right now. Becca Scherting for Hillsdale, guarded by Cairnduff. Took it all the way down. I think we're going to have an illegal screen here. That's a good call by Kent Graves. The screener just kind of kept going and rolled through 2 people. And it's on Cromer. Midmaster doesn't think so, but you could see it from up here pretty clearly. When the screen person decides to roll in the direction of the shooter, it's quite likely that she's taken a defender out of the play with her. Inside it comes here. Back out to Lutz. Lutz is going to run into trouble and just got stripped. Scherting ahead. Inside it comes, the missed shot, and that's out of bounds. Becca Scherting caught that one without reestablishing herself back in after she had gone out of the court. Well, there's one that we haven't seen for quite a while. This is a rule change that was just established this year. For many years in the women's game, there was no backcourt violation with a shot clock. The women were left to move the ball about the court at their own leisure. They still had to get the shot up in a certain amount of time, but there is a 10-second call this year, and that's the first one we've seen at Grand Valley. Hillsdale moving the ball smartly. Lutz trying to defend against Scherting. Scherting went down and then called timeout. She slipped. Lutz could have reached in and risked a foul, but opted not to do that. So Grand Valley showing a little bit of, well, uncertainty, I think you might say, with their attack right now. Playing without Hinska, who would have been in already, and playing without Barnett, who likely would have started this game. Grand Valley down to like 7 perhaps in its rotation at the moment. And if Grand Valley goes any deeper, I'm not sure really where they will go. They've got some long-term injury issues. Players that are listed on the roster but are not really ready to play. We might see Kiara Wired in the backcourt. Lindsay Kuzbel would be another one that could see some time here today. That's a nice entry pass and a nice kick out. It's a 3-point shot that misses. Grand Valley will have the basketball after it was knocked out of the hands of Lindsay Baker. Lutz taking over a lot of the ball handling responsibilities this year with Barnett's injuries. She's been out on a couple of different occasions. Grand Valley trying to go inside. That's a good call made there. The lead elbow and shoulder coming out on Parmalee, and the guy that looked at it was Sean Miller and said, nuh-uh. Offensive foul against the Lakers, who still trailed by 2 with under 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Women's college basketball coming your way today on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network. It's Grand Valley, which brings a record of 14-5 overall into this one against the 9-8 Hillsdale Chargers. Hillsdale a game under 500 in the league. Grand Valley up near the top of its division after a miss. More offensive rebounding, and they're going to call a held ball. I think it looked to me like the ball is being held by 2 Hillsdale players almost. But Hillsdale is going to roll again with 5 new players. Well, this group played pretty well the first time around. Dittmer remains on the bench with 2 fouls. Grand Valley's going to get set to bring back Piper Tucker. So we're talking about a team that's had 4 different 5-player lineups in the contest against a side that's only played 7 so far. Dawson in all sorts of trouble. They thought that was a walk, and it's now a 3-point shot that goes for Lindsay Baker. I think Grand Valley's got to start realizing that Hillsdale really collapsing inside, almost daring the Lakers, who are a pretty good 3-point shooting team, to shoot from the perimeter. Nice little back down in there. That's a force that goes. McKenna Ott with the bucket. She was right on the verge of a 3-second call there. Pivoted twice and then kind of took the shot out of desperation. Karen Duff's going to let it fly. That's way too hard. It's going to come all the way out, though, for another 3-point attempt, which misses from Baker. And Karen Duff's going to become a very important part of Grand Valley's attack here, and maybe will even do so today. That's a walk. The show and go, but a little too much go and not enough show for Kayla Gefford, who traveled in this 1-point ball game on what might well be the final possession of the first period. So Tucker, Dawson, and Karen Duff all able to shoot from the 3-point area. Good little token press coming up here from Hillsdale. Lutz breaks it, though. Lutz all the way down, drives and scores. Todd Mittmesser does not like that. Everybody just kind of parted. Hillsdale with a chance for a throw at the horn. It's off the back iron out of the hand of Madison Berry, and somehow Grand Valley finds itself on top. It's the Lakers 12, Hillsdale 11 after the first period of action.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Lakers at home here today against Hillsdale. This is the first of two, and one of the special promotions that's taking place on campus today. It's Women's Sports Day, and a lot of past Laker athletes, coaches have come back, some administrators as well, to be part of the symposium that is taking place here on the outer edges of the Fieldhouse Arena and on campus as well. So good to see some of those folks back here. Had a chance a few moments ago to saw Claudette Charney's in the house, the Grand Valley Hall of Famer who's coached both of these teams before retiring. Outside it comes for a triple try, and that's Taylor Parmley. So the Grand Valley subs, Parmley and Baker, both with triples, and the Lakers up by 4 now. And Grand Valley doing a better job after the miss by Sherding of Hillsdale. Grand Valley sweeping the glass that time, and here's Langs who's taken over at the point with a little bit of a rest for Lutz right now. This is something Langs can do, but even though she's kind of a point guard size player, she's more of a shooting guard personality. That's Dawson, forced it up. Great defense there by Jessica Degree, who was a little bit unlucky, and that ball got back to Dawson, who hits the bucket. Dawson now with a total of 7 in the game. She gets points kind of quietly. You look up and all of a sudden she's got a bunch. Triple try won't go. That's Dawson who chased down the rebound. And Dawson's not going to force it into the hands of Langs. She'll bring it up herself. Kayla looking to go. Tucker, she's open. Good release that time. And a 3-ball for Piper. Tucker will precipitate a timeout from Todd Midmesser. We'll keep it here right now. Tucker now with 5 in the contest. Grand Valley has hit a total of 4 threes here in the early going. In fact, Grand Valley has only made one 2-point goal in the game. And there's Tucker. You can just tell she kind of stepped into that one a little bit. Doesn't matter where college players are on the court with regard to the line, when they are moving into the shot with their feet a little bit, it seems like their shooting percentage goes up dramatically. That young fella liked that last shot for Grand Valley, which now leads 20-11 after struggling for a good part of the first quarter. And there we see the Charger basketball team, the men's team, taking in this one from across the way. Crowd still coming in here in Allendale. If you're in the area, join us. We've got room for you, but if not, we're glad you're with us today, both on the web and on Xfinity throughout the Midwest. And of course, it wouldn't be a basketball game without the Grand Valley Pep Band. So Grand Valley has started to find a little bit of space. Players moving toward the lane and then kicking the ball back to the line. In recent minutes, we've seen 3-point goals from Tucker, Parmley, and Baker. Dawson had one earlier. Hillsdale still looking for its first basket from 3-point range. Sherding driving all the way down, put up a shot, missed it, and then very nearly fouled Taylor Parmley. Here's Tucker. It's a kind of a zone look, and that's a silly over-the-top foul by Brittany Gray. But with a player 10, 12 feet away from the hole, with their back to the basket, that's not one you want to give up. You come through like that, it's going to be pretty much automatic. And those are the fouls that call themselves. And you take a look at Sarah Toit right there going, oh, well, yeah. No debating that one. Grand Valley's got Lutz back in the game. Tucker tried to go. This ball comes right inside and not able to convert as Parmley. Grand Valley a bit unlucky there. Grand Valley with some defensive pressure. Oh, great play by Cairnduff to keep that one in bounds. Here goes Langs forcing the shot up. Probably should have thought better of it. Now Hillsdale on the run. Cromer all the way around, missed. Lakers with another rebound. And Mike Williams saying, okay, let's run the pattern here. As we tick down toward 7 minutes and 40 seconds left until the half. Tucker in the lane. needs to get out of the lane, just barely does. Here's Langs. Hillsdale defensively has been good. When Grand Valley's got penetration, Hillsdale has not filled back to take the three-point shooter, though. That's a good entry there for Grand Valley. The shot does not go, and it's going to be a common foul called by Sean Miller against Hillsdale. That shot went up pretty quickly after the whistle, but Sean Miller made the call very demonstrably here. And he was waving this off. Block, no shot. There you see it. And we'll roll with some new people again for Hillsdale. So they're kind of taking advantage of Grand Valley's problems with depth as Piper Tucker banks one home. Tucker's off to a good start with 7 in the first half. So the team that's coming in waves is having some problems with Grand Valley's iron 7 right at the moment. That looked like a walk. It was. Madison Berry, the guilty party there. Grand Valley started to take control now. 22-11 the Lakers here at home today against Hillsdale. Janae Langs being chased out there by Allie Dwyer. Good trapping done up top. It's not a real big Grand Valley lineup. Here's Karen Duff. Best look of the day so far for her. Still couldn't get it down. And that's tipped out of play by Taylor Permley. Grand Valley has its top scorer, Dawson, on the bench right now. And as soon as I say that, she heads into the action. She's at the table. That's good defending by Grand Valley. Here's Karen Duff. Can she get in front of the Hillsdale defender? Bailey Karen Duff with the left hand. Nice finish. That might be the bucket that Bailey needed. She's had a tough time so far offensively. Her first score of the ball game. 24-11 Grand Valley. Here's Dittmer, who's back in after getting those 2 early fouls. Dropped the basketball. Lutz, what are they going to call here? Held ball? It's going to belong to Grand Valley. So after that long spell on the bench, after those 2 early fouls, Dittmer didn't get a good handle on it that time. Cromer's back in, replacing Kayla Gefford. Grand Valley continues with Lutz, Karen Duff, Langs, Dawson, and Tucker, the starting 5. Lutz goes right through it that time. Kayla Dawson thought about a 3. Langs thought about a 3, and that's a walk too. Boy, I got to give these guys credit today. I like that quick call on the travel because with the shot clock, so many people are in a hurry, but basic basketball suffers if you're not making that call as an official. We probably have had a half dozen travel calls today. Put the ball on the floor. That's the lesson if you want to go somewhere. Hillsdale with Cromer, left hand, nicely done. Beautiful bucket by Cromer, her first score of the game after going for 23 2 nights ago. Here's Lutz, going to crank it up from distance. That's wide right. Couldn't Tucker get there? No, Dittmer used her body smartly there. And the sophomore heads back up the floor. Hillsdale wants to push, but Grand Valley is back. Nice skip here. Grand Valley trading places very nicely, but it's a good triple try there. It's going to sail out of bounds. It was a good look for McKenna Ott. Can't find it. McKenna Ott goes out, and Morgan Blair is back in with 5 minutes to go until the half. Tucker, Langs, ready to pull the trigger, but maybe just a step or two too far away. Lutz, Karen Duff, she's not going to stop, and she spins it up and in. Beautifully done by the Division I transfer, Bailey Karen Duff, former Bowling Green player, knocking one down to give Grand Valley, again, a comfortable margin at 26-13. Cairnduff with the touch that time. Almost able to play that one off of Allie Dwyer as we get Baker back on and Tucker going out. So Mike Williams has made his intentions clear. He's going to ride the Rapids with his starting 5, and so far just 2 substitutes. Dwyer's out, Shirting back in. Well, apparently Cairnduff wasn't watching the ball that time, and she got burned. They threw it over the top of her head, and Madison Berry gets the easy shot inside. 4 now for Madison. The old defensive rule still applies. See the player, see the ball. Got to be watching both, and that time Cairnduff turned her back on the play. Cairnduff for 3. Missed it, but hasn't lost her nerve. Lutz spins inside. Cairnduff gave chase. Rebounded, though, by Dittmer. Going to put it on the deck. Nicely done. And Hillsdale trying again to go quickly. Nice step up 3 will fall short. And now Dawson trying to go against numbers. Dawson into all sorts of traffic. Very sloppy turnover there. Thought she probably could have felt or seen the pressure coming and made a better choice. Hillsdale knifes inside. How about that basket? It is Madison Berry with her second bucket in the last minute, and now it's just a 9-point edge. Dawson in a good position this time. Dawson up and under with the left hand. 9 for Kayla. Kind of an Adrian Dantley type player is Kayla Dawson. She can score surprisingly well from the outside, but it's inside where she does a lot of her damage, and she's not real tall by Division II standards. Listed at 5'10", but always going against bigger, taller opponents. And there's the rebounding machine, Janae Langs, who had 9 on Thursday, pulls down 1 right there. Cairnduff looking for Dawson, trying to use her body to create space. Langs is in the corner, over the tallest player out there, and pours home the 3. Todd Midmesser says, I did not see that coming. Janae Langs with her first score of the ball game. It's a triple over the tallest player on the court. No hesitation. Put it down. Hillsdale breaks inside. That might be a foul on Dawson, or is it Lutz? It's Dawson sending Morgan Blair to the line to shoot a pair here. Dawson just trailing on the play. At that point, you got to get out of the way. She really didn't do very much, but at that point, you might as well not contest that shot if you're behind somebody driving to the basket. Hillsdale has only made 1 free throw so far in the contest. Grand Valley hasn't really had many opportunities either. Tucker was fouled shooting and made a pair. And the rest of the points have come from open play. 2 misses there for Morgan Blair. Here's Dawson now. Lutz, 3-point try is through for Lindsay Baker. Grand Valley got into its offense quickly there, and Hillsdale was chasing. Hillsdale's going to try a 3 now, and this one's wide right from Kelsey Cromer. And now the Lakers can really open it up. Lutz, Langs. Langs forces the jumper. Heat check. Not this time. Nice move to the basket made here by Hillsdale's Becca Shirting. Tried to drop it off inside, and then we've got a charge as Langs took one in the chest from, I think it's Sarah Toit. Well, they said Barry on the PA announcement, but she's not in the game right now. It was Toit, 14. Dawson. Oh, nice play by Dawson, and there you go again with that wanting to get to the basket in a hurry. When you got the player up in the air, you can take all day. The first instinct has to be to put the ball down on the deck. And that's just something that so many young players today don't seem to have. They want to go immediately. It's hard to get around defenders quite often, but when you get them up in the air, they're at your mercy. Take your time, bend your knees, put the ball down. Dawson would have had a wide open opportunity, or a chance maybe to go all the way to the bucket. Hillsdale trying to fight back. Shirting nearly tied up, gets it out to Brittany Gray. Here's Toit, guarded by Langs. Grand Valley forcing Hillsdale on the perimeter. Shot clock at 6. Toit against Langs. That was the matchup they wanted. That's a contested triple try that will not go for Gray. And here comes Grand Valley again. And this is the Mike Williams defense that has carried Grand Valley this year. We're taking a look at stats before the game. In Division II basketball this year, Grand Valley, which gets another 3 from Baker. She's got 9 now. Grand Valley 9th in the nation in average margin of victory. Nice back pass there. Nice drop inside and good bucket by Morgan Blair. Missed a couple of free throws a moment ago and then makes a circus shot. Down to the final 30 here. The shot clock is off. Grand Valley can hold. They'll get a timeout. They'll take a quick 30 here, leading 37-19. Grand Valley, though, this year, we were talking about in league action, has had victories of 35, 40, and 45 points. And you just don't see that in this league. There's a little bit of a difference between the top and the bottom, but not that kind of a margin. And you can only really do that with a stifling defense, which Grand Valley on many occasions has had this year. Hurting a little bit right now with the shot blocker Hinska sidelined, and with Barnett unable to provide her quickness today, but doing very well. Up 18 in this game against the Chargers of Hillsdale. We'll see what Grand Valley does, if they'll get Karen Duff maybe back into the contest. I don't think that's going to happen. She's still over there, a little surprised. A lot of three-point shooters out there. Really anybody can shoot the three that's in this group. Another rule of basketball this year is that you can't advance the ball like in the pro game to half court. Lutz has got to stay out of a double team. She put herself in a terrible spot and got stripped, and now Hillsdale is probably going to score here to end the half. Well, maybe I counted my chickens too soon. Goodness gracious. Hillsdale will get one more shot, and they still can't find it. And they call the foul. Let's see, is it against Grand Valley? It's going to be against Tucker, and now Grand Valley will get Baker in the game. Well, that last situation shows you how valuable Barnett is, because Lutz, who's not a natural point guard, did not stay out into the middle of the court. She kind of veered to the side, had the half-court line to trap her with 2 defenders, and was in just the worst possible spot. That's a shot that's going to go way short. Somehow Grand Valley does not give up a bucket. Hillsdale had 5 shots in the last 20 seconds, could not put one down. So good work done by the Lakers. We go to the half. It's Grand Valley on top here against Hillsdale, 37-19 on Xfinity in the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Many of our customers are repeat customers. Once they travel with Cardinal, they come back time and time again.
Our drivers are the best in the industry. We have so many positive comments about our drivers.
Cardinal Bus, 85 years of safe, reliable, worry-free transportation. Call us at 800-348-7487.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
I was only 18 when I was diagnosed with cancer. I went from being an active, healthy teenager to becoming very sick very quickly. But thanks to the collaboration between researchers and my oncologist, I survived, and I'm now in remission.
We were curious, could a checking account help fight cancer? We'll give $150 to Stand Up to Cancer and $150 to you when you open a new checking account with direct deposit and make 3 online bill payments at Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank.
Here are some of the festivities that are taking place right now at halftime. Doug Woods, good to see Doug out here, a longtime trainer who has also doubled back in the days when you could do that kind of thing. He doubled as the women's softball coach, just recently retired and gave way to Dana Callahan, his longtime assistant coach, as they honor some of the pioneers who have meant so much to women's sports here at Grand Valley being honored at halftime. The Lakers had a bit of a slow start in the first quarter here today, but got it rolling, and really big contribution from Lindsey Baker off the bench with 9 points, and Taylor Parmley helped out in that regard. Only 7 players going for Grand Valley. Hillsdale has thrown everything out but the kitchen sink, but unfortunately, Hillsdale has not been able to hit from range so far in this one, and finds itself trailing 37-19. Still several minutes away from the start of the second half, so why don't we talk a little bit and show you some of the things that are happening these days around Grand Valley.
I came to Grand Valley because the moment I stepped foot on this campus, I fell in love, and all the people around, they just seemed so friendly. So I was like, this is where I need to be.
When I first came to campus, it was very welcoming, a very clean campus.
I came to Grand Valley because they have a great biology department. It really made me determine that Grand Valley was the place for me.
I came to Grand Valley because of the amazing opportunities that West Michigan had to offer Grand Rapids itself. Because of the small class size, it was the one-on-one, peer-to-peer opportunities I had with my fellow students.
The moment I came in, it was an exciting place to be a part of. It's been going uphill from before I got here. It's continuing the upward trend. I really feel really blessed to be here.
I dream of working in technology and really being a big part in connecting people and empowering a lot of friendships.
I dream of being a marine biologist and focusing in marine mammals, mainly orca whales, also known as killer whales.
Action. My goals for the future include directing major motion pictures and working with some of the most creative minds on the planet in order to create movies that are unique and awe-inspiring.
I really want to become a physical therapist for our military, because my Uncle Francis was killed on September 11th, and they put their lives on hold and on the line to defend our country. And the thing that I can do to help them the most is to become a physical therapist and improve their quality of life to allow them to come back to their families.
I'm interested in continuing my education to work on autonomous robotics that operate in space, where we can harvest resources that we can use both in space and back here on Earth.
I really would like to find myself in some kind of position that involves working with public policy that has to do with education, and I would like that to have an international bent, to understand how to better form an educational experience for children in the U.S., and that's something I've just grown really passionate about.
One of my favorite memories from Grand Valley is when I went on a study abroad trip to Ecuador. There I got to explore the Amazon, cloud rainforests, and I got to try many new things, including eating a grub. Hakuna Matata.
The first time I saw the campus, it was literally a cornfield with a road down the middle. When you think about the campus today, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like magic has taken place.
My favorite memories at Grand Valley are working with different people and having a chance to work with people like T. Haas, you know, and to have him actually know my name was, I think a pretty cool thing.
My favorite memory at Grand Valley has to have been making Happy Grand Rapids. I had the ability to interact with a couple of students here and film a bit of the parts on campus, and that was a really fun experience.
At Grand Valley, I've had the opportunity to improve my clinical skills and to improve my competencies in nursing, leadership, advocacy, and scholarship.
I have had the opportunity to meet an amazingly diverse collection of students and faculty.
I saw this massive investment downtown and these labs that were world class.
Yeah, this is a nice structure.
And I thought, what a great opportunity for my students and for me. And to be honest, I wanted to be a part of that.
Grand Valley gave me the opportunity to be able to network and also help attain different internships. It really helped me be able to finish up my degree and be able to move on to a successful career.
Grand Valley has given me that community to build and empower myself and empower others and be able to accomplish anything in the world.
I feel just privileged to be able to call myself a Laker for a lifetime.
When you put your name on something, it means something. For over 140 years, Coors Banquet's been brewed in one place with pure Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. And someone with the name Coors still tastes our beer every week, making sure it tastes as good today as it did in 1873. That's something we're proud to put our name on. Coors, the banquet beer.
My fathead king! My fathead king! Oh my gosh!
That looks really good. That look good?
This is my fat head.
I'm so excited for her. I have goosebumps.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
Do you like it?
I love it.
Students are enrolling in record numbers at Grand Valley. This fall, the campus welcomed a record number of first-year students, bringing the total number enrolled to more than 25,000, hitting a major milestone for the university. The percentage of minority students is also a record high, as is the number of international and out-of-state students.
I chose Grand Valley because it offers a great education for an affordable price.
There are also enrollment increases in engineering, health professions, nursing, and business.
These increases show how the university's programs align with what students want and employers need.
Grand Valley has a track record students and parents count on. It has the third best graduation rate of all public universities in the state, and nearly 85% of recent graduates are staying in Michigan to begin their careers or graduate work. For Around Grand Valley, I'm Mary Eileen Lyon.
All right, it is halftime here of the women's basketball game at Grand Valley. The Lakers on top 37-19. Tom Cleary with you today, and we're happy to be joined right now by a guy who has really distinguished himself in about 18 months on the job. It's Jeff Hostler, the women's soccer coach at Grand Valley. 2 years at Grand Valley, 2 national championships. What have you done for us lately?
Feel very fortunate, to be in this position. Great group of kids. Great university, great support, so really happy, obviously, with the success we've had.
In a perfect world, you take a couple of months off after your season, but you got right back into it with recruiting and other things, and that means a lot of travel for you and your staff, Kristen Walker, Annette Stromberg, and company, doing various things. And tell us a little bit about what's happening on the recruiting trail and the timeline for recruiting that a college soccer coach has.
Yeah, really our season ended. We were right on. First weekend out of the season, we had our big ID camp here on campus. We're in Florida for a 10-day span with national recruiting down for ECNL and Disney. So it's a busy time period. We got a lot of kids on campus this week, next week. 2018 graduates, 2017 graduates, so young kids. But we're excited about the future of Grand Valley soccer.
Well, I know something else happened here just recently with the call-up of Marty Corby, the two-time National Player of the Year in Division II soccer, to the U.S. Under-23 program. She went out for a week, did not get a game with that squad when they took on the Ireland national team, but you've got a chance to talk to Marty now and find out about her experience and tell folks what that means for her going forward, and will she continue to have an opportunity perhaps in the U.S. national team setup?
Yeah, whether she'll have an opportunity or not in the future is still to be determined. She was with the U23. She's a very young player. She was the only junior in college that was there. Every other player in the camp with the 26 were either current pros, future pros who were drafted actually during the time period they were out there for the NWSL, or just finished their senior year. So she was very young. She's barely 20 years old into U23 camp. So the future is definitely bright for her. And obviously she has another year here at Grand Valley to show what she can do in her senior campaign.
I had a chance to talk with you earlier this week about her experience, and you said that Marty made a very honest assessment of her own ability against the players that she was up against, but she's always been a competitive and combative player. Do you think this experience, Jeff, is going to motivate her to try to take this team, or to be part of this team, moving to even greater heights for the coming season?
Yeah, it's actually policy coming back from national camp that you got to take 48 hours off of the field, away from your team to recover and recuperate. And of course, Marty's in my office, like ready to jump right into things with her team. So she's really excited to be back. I think for her, it gives her some additional motivation because some of the things that we've reinforced that she can be a better player in certain areas. The U.S. Women's National Team staff certainly reinforced those ideas. So I think, you know, her best soccer is still ahead of her, which is exciting.
Okay, we'll take a break, and thank you for stopping up to see us. Jeff Hostler, the national championship coach of the women's soccer program. Jeff, nice seeing you again. Take care of that young family that you brought here today. And we'll come back with some more basketball in just a couple of moments. It's Grand Valley on top of Hillsdale at halftime here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
I was only 18 when I was diagnosed with cancer. I went from being an active, healthy teenager to becoming very sick very quickly. But thanks to the collaboration between researchers and my oncologist, I survived, and I'm now in remission.
We were curious, could a checking account help fight cancer? We'll give $150 to Stand Up to Cancer and $150 to you when you open a new checking account with direct deposit and make 3 online bill payments at Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank.
And the Lakers waiting for Hillsdale to return. Some final instructions from Tom Midmesser. Boy, he had an interesting technique there in the first half, running players at Grand Valley, trying to up the tempo, but Mike Williams' team pretty well conditioned, and they were able to fight off the challenge to lead by 18 at the break. And Mike had a chance at halftime to observe a little ceremony honoring the 2005-2006 national championship team, of which he was a part. He was the assistant coach to Don Plitzel-White at the time. A lot of the ex-Lakers came back. Hillsdale's missed a couple here to start the second half, and Kayla Dawson a rebound. But it was good to see players like Erica Rice-Camp, Aaron Siplick, Crystal Zick, and of course Nikki Reams, the All-America player from Jenison, a big part of that. And the whole squad looked great. They looked like they could go out there today and play a few quarters, many of them. Here is Karen Duff from the arc, and Bailey Karen Duff finally gets the lid off the basket. Grand Valley now moving it out to a 40-19 lead. Lakers absent a couple of players from their lineup, but still playing very well here this afternoon in game one. This is Dittmer, who had some foul trouble early. Nice move there. Dittmer's second bucket of the game, 40-21. Nice little step back jump shot. Janae Langs now. Hillsdale still kind of zoning and matching up defensively. Grand Valley's got to get some ball movement. Here's Dawson, flies one up. That is very much her game, though. Dawson, it looks unwieldy at times, but it's usually pretty effective. That's a triple try that is just not going to get there. Boy, Lutz was probably fouled on that rebound. It came back to Hillsdale, though. And this time, Grand Valley does get the foul. It's Piper Tucker as they went over the top. Is that Dittmer? It is, and that's going to make it tough for Hillsdale coming back. But down so many, you'd wonder whether or not the tall player in the paint is going to be that much of a factor. Hillsdale's going to need to get it going from the outside, and they'll probably have to play a bit more of a pressing game here. Dawson. That's a good double. Langs, Lutz. Grand Valley going for the reset with 7 on the shot clock. Hillsdale knows Dawson wants to put it on the floor. She pushed off there. Oh, got the right arm out, the free arm, but instead they're going to call a block on Kelsey Cromer. Well, that hurts on a number of different levels for Todd Midmester and Hillsdale. Number one, it's a foul against one of their better players. And number two, the shot clock was running down and Grand Valley was on the verge of turning it over. Here's Lutz, fresh 30 for the Lakers. Lutz still looking to try to force it into Dawson, but Hillsdale players moving their feet well and getting around in front of Dawson. Langs tried to curl it to Cairnduff, but one dribble too many for that. Here comes Hillsdale on the run. Cromer goes inside with the left hand. This is Dittmer in tight, puts it home. Hillsdale is getting the tempo it wants right now. They're going to try to trap again. Dawson pulled that one down. Dawson from 12. Langs is going to run it down to the corner. Tucker. Lutz inside, drew the foul. Couple different players there. One of them was Brittany Gray. And I think it's going to go against Becca Scherting. Yeah, there's the reach in right there. Not much doubt about that. Brittany Gray just happy it wasn't on her. Taylor Lutz has only 2 points in the ball game so far, and she is quite a bit short on that first attempt from the stripe. Not really surprised. Taylor would normally be scoring at a little bit better clip than what she has lately, but when you take over those ball handling responsibilities, you just don't always have the same energy at the offensive end to move, and she's a good stationary shooter. This is a try that's way short. Cairnduff with the rebound. Cairnduff showing her mojo here with nice move through traffic. Let's see if they go back to Cairnduff on this side. Langs wanted to pick, didn't get it. Lutz couldn't get there either. There's Cairnduff for 3. Yeah. Suddenly, Bailey Cairnduff with 2 triples and a total of 10 to lead Grand Valley scoring, and the lead again is back to 21. And there's a takeaway by Dawson. Dawson's got Langs out in front of the pack if she can find her. Dawson's going to do it herself. Missed the shot. Lutz had a hand on it and then slapped away by Piper Tucker. So Grand Valley quicker to the punch on the offensive glass this time. Lutz. And Tucker was supposed to roll to the basket, didn't. Lutz had nobody to throw it to. There's Dawson. Piper Tucker. Good save by Cairnduff. She'll get a turnover on that play, but it's certainly not her fault. And we have a travel now as Brittany Gray had it, pulled it down, and then had committed to a pass, and she just couldn't stop her forward momentum. 4 subs on right now for Hillsdale. Madison Berry's back in there. McKenna Ott. Sarah Toit is back on. Maddie Reed is in there. Grand Valley just doesn't have that luxury. The players that are playing are being productive, though. Here's Dawson. Boy, Dawson, so confident going to the left hand. Uses her body to shield the defender and shovels that one up and in. Take Kayla Dawson now. That's 11 points in the contest. Barry from the arc. Got rid of Langs, who fell down. That's a triple try against pressure that's short from McKenna Ott. And you're really rolling the dice right now if you're Hillsdale, because you need the 3 ball. You need some quick points. And you just haven't been able to score from range. Here is Dawson. That's spun out. That ball is tipped out of bounds. Hillsdale got it last. Grand Valley's going to get Parmley back on, and we will get a timeout here. 4:58 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. More to come on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Gotta go! I'd like to welcome you to our basement. I'd like to read a brief statement. We, the Hubacher family, are pleased to announce today that we've acquired the following players: Buster Posey, Mike Trout, Yadier Molina, Bryce Harper, Derek Jeter, and Miguel Cabrera. We believe that this demonstrates, once again, our family's unwavering commitment to assemble the very best team in this neighborhood.
Mr. Hubacher, you've really upped the ante here. How do you expect the other families in the neighborhood to respond?
Well, the Harris family's going to be none too pleased.
Word is the Harrises are putting together quite a team of their own. Any concerns?
Under Cliff Harris's mismanagement, they already used up all their wall space with a bunch of paintings. I mean, really, come on.
Dad? I know.
All right, next question.
Start building your own dream team at fathead.com.
Well, this game has developed quite differently from how it started. Hillsdale came out with a lot of pep and fire. Grand Valley was very sluggish offensively through the first 4 or 5 minutes, but then the Lakers scored late to take an 11-10 lead at the end of the first period, ran it out to a 37-19 halftime margin, and they've built the lead again. Now it's 23, and the Lakers still have it. With Kayla Dawson, that ball bounced off the leg of the defender Cromer. Dawson going to go for 3. That's way short. Can somebody get it before it goes out of bounds? Yeah, Hillsdale's got it. Now they've got numbers. Grand Valley's got to have to hurry to get back. Nice skip pass. Nice job by Langs, and a held ball, which will give it to Grand Valley. Super play by Janae Langs to hustle back in. She was one of the players that hit the deck at the far end and rushed back into the play as Baker comes in. Cairnduff goes out. For the game, Hillsdale shooting just 25%. Grand Valley at about a 44% clip. Grand Valley starting to win the battle of the glass. 31-24, the rebounds for the Lakers. Parmley going inside over a tougher, taller opponent. Had one blocked, had another blocked, but Langs pulled it out. Grand Valley's got a fresh clock. Now they have to recognize that, not hurry. Here's Lutz, turning the corner, got a flat tire there. Bounced it off her foot. Morgan Blair returns, also Kayla Gefford for Hillsdale. Maddie Reed is one of the players leaving. Also Ott, I think, was the other to go out. So here comes Barry with the basketball. Her team in arrears by 23, midway through period number 3. Good work by Grand Valley to jump out. Lutz and Langs getting it done. Oh, Langs ran over Kelsey Cromer, who set that pick, and the referees just let it go. It looked to me like it might have been a travel. Instead, it's a held ball to Hillsdale with 4 on the shot clock. No reset here for Hillsdale. They got to get it up quickly. We have not seen a Grand Valley breakout yet today, really. Let's see if they can latch onto a ball here and then get it and go. Instead, Hillsdale's going to get a great look at the basket. Can't convert the shot. Dawson, oh, they got Dawson late. Kayla Dawson had a little collision there with Sarah Toit. Almost got away with it. Men's game at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, Grand Valley and Hillsdale. I hope you'll stick around for that. This is Cromer, who's really been shut off today by the Lakers. Just 1 bucket so far after 23 on Thursday. Boy, Lutz is going to chase her all the way out to the half-court line if need be. Berry against Lang's got a screen, and Hillsdale just cannot get that long ball down. Here's Taylor Lutz for the Lakers with Karen Duff up at the table. Lutz. Dawson had it knocked out of her hands. That's going to be some ugly stuff down there. Held ball, Lakers will keep it. Dawson gets a break. That's a good substitution, I think, there by Phil Sayers and Mike Williams. Dawson just a touch out of control. Last couple possessions here. Now Karen Duff. Grand Valley, nice move to the bucket inside, forcing the shot up and in is Taylor Parmley with 5, and she let the defender go by. She had the advantage, could have shot it and maybe drawn a foul, but she waited, stayed cool, knocked it down. Hillsdale, 3-point try. One of them is going to go in, and that's the one. It's Morgan Blair with 5, and by my count, the first triple of the ball game for Hillsdale. There's Langs, steps into her shot from 15. Got a good look at it. Madison Berry. Blair, she hit the last one. You know what she's thinking about. There's a nice move on the baseline and a good finish there by Kayla Gefford. First bucket of the ball game for Kayla. Now you get Piper Tucker up. Kayla Gefford, a senior from Utica, playing here in Allendale for perhaps the last time. That is Karen Duff leaving it short. Grand Valley looks to me to be a little bit tired, late getting back defensively, and that was a bad miss by Cromer, and then a foul, I think, against Grand Valley's Lindsey Baker. Wondering if Mike Williams is contemplating a timeout here to give his crew a little bit of a breather. Tucker's going to come back in and replace Parmley. I don't think Mike likes seeing his team get beat down the floor. Was that a Langs foul? Indeed it was, her second of the contest. Two-sport athlete, Janae Lang, softball player, left-handed hitter. Great wheels, as we know. Kind of a slap-and-go hitter for Dana Callahan and company. Grand Valley fills in nicely. Long triple try is wide, but it's an easy putback for Kayla Gefford, who has 2 buckets now in the last couple of moments. Grand Valley would like to see this quarter out. Mike Williams does take the timeout. It's a 30, so we'll stay right here. I think more than anything else, he wants to let his players just sit down for a second. Break up the pace of this game. Hillsdale with a lot more depth. Grand Valley with a bit more ability, as reflected in the score. 48-30. Grand Valley on top here in period number 3. Not sure if they're watching the contest online tonight, or this afternoon I should say, but a lot of fans here and young families on hand as well. John Tharp and the Chargers will try to spring a trap on Grand Valley in the men's game. That comes up at about 3 p.m. today. So we hope you'll stay with us for that, for the basketball action here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network. Tom Cleary with you today. Grand Valley getting it done through some of the old standbys. Karen Duff and Dawson. Dawson 11, Karen Duff with 10, but Lindsey Baker had 9 in the first half. Piper Tucker had 7, and that's how Grand Valley jumped out to that 18-point halftime margin. And that was a sizable 30-second timeout for Grand Valley. Lakers will have it with 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So it's Lutz and Langs in the back court. Lindsey Baker's out there right now. Grand Valley got a break. That was a little bit sloppy. Here's Taylor Lutz looking to spin inside, sends it skyward. Karen Duff knocked it out of bounds with 1:18 left to go in the period. Well, scoring has been a problem for this team on the road. This is the third straight road game in which Hillsdale has not had a double-figure score. Now, obviously, there's a long ways to go in this one, but in the 2 games up north last week, nobody got to 10 for their side. And so far today, Barry with 6, Dittmer with 6. I suspect we'll see a lot of scoring in the 4th quarter as Hillsdale tries to press back into this one. Dawson's going to come back in for the final minute. Dittmer trying to work on Tucker. That's beautiful from Dittmer. Problem now for Hillsdale is they're going to need more from the outside as the tempo of this one gets ratcheted up. But Grand Valley burning a little bit of oil, I think, in the last couple of minutes. Here's Langs. Tucker. Shot clock at 17. No need to hurry for Grand Valley. I think Karen Duff's got to work now to get herself a good shot. She's the go-to player, but here's Tucker. Oh, she's got to finish that. That's a case where Tucker was a little bit too worried about the contact and just kind of casually flipped it up there. She's got to stay there, take the hit, and finish, but she'll get 2 free throws. And that means Grand Valley will likely get a 2-for-1 situation here. That possession and one more, as Hillsdale's going to be forced to probably shoot the ball again before the expiration of the quarter. Tucker curls one down. Piper's been good from the stripe. She's been the only player shooting free throws for Grand Valley. She's made all 3. And that last foul going against Kayla Gefford. Good release that time by Piper Tucker. 9 points in the contest. Her first scores of the half number 2, and here's Hillsdale. Grand Valley would love to get a stop here and then add one at the conclusion. Langs defended well there. Grand Valley's going to pull it off through Karen Duff. Now Grand Valley's got it with the shot clock off. Lutz between the circles. Lutz got to be careful not to dribble herself into a double team here. Hillsdale not coming to trap. Inside of 10. Lutz, Dawson. Well, I'll tell you what, Todd Mittmesser was in the ear of the officials a couple of moments ago talking about somebody. I think it was about Dawson. That's about the 3rd traveling call today on Dawson. She gets that foot out and she goes, and it's a travel, no doubt about it. Dawson's on the deck here, trying to hang on. The period will end. Lakers maintain an 18-point lead after the 3rd 10-minute period. We go to the 4th. Grand Valley 50, Hillsdale 32.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
One period of action still to come here today on the Grand Valley Sports Network. I'm Tom Cleary with you here for the first of 2 in GLIAC College basketball action. A lot of face paint today and some future dancers as well. There's the Grand Valley 5 that started this contest. Dawson, Tucker, and Karen Duff up front with Langs and Lutz in the backcourt. Hillsdale will come out this period with Sarah Toit, Madison Berry, Brittany Gray, Morgan Blair, and Allie Dwyer is the player underneath the basket right now. Here's Blair for 3. Boy, they've been close sometimes. That probably could have been a foul called. Lutz grabs it out of there. She's got to get rid of it. Boy, I'll tell you, I thought they were going to call that on Lutz. Instead, they're going to get Morgan Blair. Or Dwyer, perhaps. Yeah, it's Dwyer. Well, problem here is it gets unnecessarily rough because there were probably a foul or two that could have been called that wasn't in that little scrum. The officials eventually got it right. Here's Dawson. Lutz. Dawson thought about for three. Still thinking about it. Trying for a little two-man game with Cairnduff. Instead, crossed over nicely. Brittany Gray turned her head slightly to look and see where the screener was, and when Dawson saw that, she took off for the basket. Second team foul. Smart play. Now watch the defender. She's got her head turned, and then Dawson just takes off. She was expecting to be screened. Here's Kayla Dawson. Dawson, nice move to the basket, and they're going to call her for a charge. Knocked the bucket down, but ran into the Hillsdale defender. It wasn't a square-on hit there. Let's see. Well, I got to say I agree with that. Usually you have to take it right head-on to get the charge if you're a defender, but I think in that particular instance, Dawson did enough damage against a stationary opponent to deserve that foul. Triple try on the way and still not there for Hillsdale, and here comes Taylor Lutz, smartly weaving through traffic, being chased over there by Allie Dwyer wearing that face guard. Cairnduff. Lutz, or Tucker rather. Lutz, 10 on the clock. Tucker, deep three ball. Through the iron, saw where it was going and chased it back. Was just a second late in trying to retrieve that one. That is like an injury waiting to happen when you see a player heading for the folding chairs over there. The players on the bench can't get out of the way. Player going toward the bench can't stop. And lots of metal on hand. Not a good mix. Grand Valley chasing out. Nice work by Langs there to force, I think, a held ball. That really came about as a result of Janae Langs bothering Madison Berry, and Grand Valley gets it back. Cromer's going to get back on. Talk about change fortunes from one game to the next. Cromer with 23 Thursday, 1 bucket early in the first half of this one. Toit went out, and also Dwyer. All in all, Grand Valley doing a pretty good job of handling the pressure. Now they've just got to keep the ball in open spaces. Here's Langs. Always a good idea to tack back toward the middle. Mike Williams got a timeout, a 30. I think they were worried about a shot, a backcourt violation, perhaps. Phil Sayers, though, is the guy that likes to redirect on the offense. Now, interesting here, the ball came across the timeline, and this is a new rule this year. Grand Valley will have to inbound in the backcourt. And I believe the clock is still in play, the 10-second clock. It's kind of an interesting rule this year. You do have to advance the ball. You can't just call timeout and be saved that way. So the officials are talking right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're talking about that. I don't know if Grand Valley really realizes it. Grand Valley threw the ball up toward the timeline, but they've already indicated that the ball is going to have to be inbounded from the backcourt. And I think they're talking about that rule right now, and they're probably trying to determine just how much time Grand Valley has left on the clock. Now, the clock that I'm looking at was ticking down to 20. They've gone back to 21. If it resets to 30, then I think Grand Valley's only got a second to get the ball over the timeline here. Certainly a minor rule change in college basketball this year, but one that may come into play right here. Louis the Laker took advantage of the free pizza that they were serving some of the kids and their families who are on hand here today. Now they're holding. I think Grand Valley has to get this over the timeline to avoid a violation. In other words, when the ball comes in, it's got to come into the front court because there's only 1 second left before it hits 20. And I think they've talked that over with the coaches, and we'll see right now. So if Grand Valley throws it in the back court, it's not going to be a good thing. And everybody comes to the front court, and they get it to the front court. So Grand Valley was apprised of the situation and did the right thing. Dawson, she's in a world of hurt, somehow spun through and traveled. This is something I think Grand Valley instinctively doesn't have a real good handle on right now with Barnett out of the game. Because normally she'd be the point guard. And a point guard, somebody handles the ball most of the time, knows you've got to stay in the middle of the court as much as possible to avoid being trapped. And without a natural point guard out there right now, Grand Valley has been stung on that a couple times. That's a nice running left-hander there by Morgan Blair, who now has 7 in the contest. 16-point game. Grand Valley's not home yet. Lutz. Dawson. Langs. Langs is going to go all the way through. She took a forearm chop. Nice work there done by Janae Langs. Gafford draws that foul. Going to be a non-shooting situation here. So Grand Valley gets a clock reset at the 7:26 mark. Lakers would be happy to trade baskets the rest of the way. Karen Duff. Langs, nice feed to Dawson. Nice finish and one. Textbook basketball that time from Grand Valley. Dawson sealed, got the ball, didn't rush. And Kayla Dawson's probably the best player Grand Valley has at finishing through a defender here. Langs gets it through. Here comes the defender late, not set. Dawson, three-point play opportunity. 13 for Kayla by my tabulation. And she is able to finish off the three-point play. Dawson leading all scorers with 14 now. The Lakers back up 19. Grand Valley still defending well. That's going to be a 3-second call against the ball handler. Becca Scherting got tied up by Langs, pivoted twice, got rid of the ball okay, but did not get out of the lane herself. And there to make the call was Sean Miller. Inside of 7 to go. Langs pushing it a little bit for the Lakers right now. This is good for Langs to get this practice. They can't have the ball in Lutz's hand 40 minutes a game. Langs going all the way down, got fouled from behind. Janae Langs will shoot 2. Good feed by Karen Duff there. And the Lakers haven't had a lot of opportunities at the line today, but they've made the most of them. Langs now with 4 points, but she's had a very good game at the defensive end. I think she's really one of the primary, if not the primary reason why Hillsdale's had no luck at all from outside the arc. She's been chasing out there on the perimeter and covering a lot of ground. Janae Langs with 5, and who's coming out of there? Is it Janae? It's going to be Kayla Dawson. So Tucker, Baker, and Karen Duff up front. Lutz and Langs for Hillsdale. We see Madison Berry with the ball right now with Brittany Gray. McKenna Ott is on, Morgan Blair, and Dittmer, who's oddly enough in the corner right now. Skip pass across, triple tries way short. Grand Valley a rebound off the miss by Blair. Oh, that's a nice, clever pass inside. Grand Valley had to save it twice to keep it in. That's because Tucker got bumped, I think, on the first one. Grand Valley bench up after that play. Karen Duff saves it back on. Ticking down towards 6 minutes left in this contest. Grand Valley safely in control at 55-34. Karen Duff thinking about it. Karen Duff. Well, they're going to call her for a travel. That ball kind of rolled up her leg a little bit. She didn't really make a clean pass off, and that's why Kent Graves blew the whistle with a tick under 6 to go here today from Grand Valley. That's a long triple try, nowhere close. Hillsdale just forced to bomb away, trying to get back into this one. Here's Cairnduff against a shorter opponent. Cairnduff's got to be a little more greedy than that. She had a shorter player on her hip, just got to go up strong, force it up and in. Nice back pass there. Hillsdale moving the ball smartly, but they cannot hit the outside shot. But Dittmer there gets the putback. And for Dittmer, 10 points now. And we talked about that bugaboo for Hillsdale. No double-figure scorers in 3 straight road games until that basket went in. Baker to Langs. Langs skirts through the defense and just rushed herself a little bit. Mike Williams likes what she came up with there, but maybe not so much the finish. Kiara Wired's going to get in for Grand Valley right now in the backcourt. First opportunity for her. That's good work by Lutz. Lutz defending really very nicely against McKenna Ott. Stayed in front, didn't bail her out on the jump shot. Well, that's a good looking 3-ball right here, and it's through. Lindsay Baker has done it from distance today. 4 threes in the game, 12 points for Lindsay, and another example of a player stepping up into the shot, moving toward the basket when she let it go. Worked beautifully. Dittmer moving away from the hoop, couldn't find it there. Hillsdale's got 4 at the table. Grand Valley, as I said, with Wired getting ready to come in. Piper Tucker. Grand Valley's also going to get Parmley back on. A whistle stops the action. What do we have? Called by J.R. Schoon. It's a common foul against Hillsdale with 3:50 remaining, and Taylor Lutz can get a couple of her teammates some playing time here by stopping the clock, and she does. Tucker goes out, Langs goes out. So the 2 substitutes are on. The 2 substitutes that we saw in the first half, I should say. Parmley and Baker, but now Kiara Wired is in there in the backcourt. She'll continue with Lutz, who's missed 2. First 2 misses for Grand Valley at the stripe today. Wired defends well, but then bumps at the end, and the shot is hit by Brittany Gray. I think I said Gray was shirting with the bucket, her first of the afternoon. 11 instead of 10, the foul on Wired. And a 3-point play to make it a 19-point ball game. Here's Wired. Got to move that ball, stay away from the double team. Grand Valley's got to have somebody moving to the basket now with numbers. Boy, Cairnduff, that's the travel again. Boy, oh boy, it's an epidemic today. Players dig one way with the foot and then go back the other, and it's just an automatic call. Toit. Now Cromer. Grand Valley's got defenders there, but a reach in by Taylor Lutz will stop the clock. Common foul. No shots yet. Get it back to the inbounder, but it can't hit the shot. And Grand Valley with a strong rebound there by Taylor Parmley, who actually knocked it away. Cairnduff behind the back. A little showtime, but then the second time she nearly got it picked. Cairnduff's got it back. You can see Bailey Cairnduff get it on the floor once in a while and drive hard to the basket. She's got some ball handling skills, and she's a dangerous outside shooter. For 3, Lindsay Baker having a great ball game. 15 now on 5 triples. 61-39. This is Cromer. Boy, just not her day. A rebound by Baker. Lutz. Parmley. Ticking down to the 2-minute mark in this one. Grand Valley's going to claim another victory that will make the Lakers 15-5 for the year. Here's Parmley thinking about it. Got away with a walk there, maybe. Shot clock running down. Kiara Wired. They have to get it up in a hurry. Does and scores it. Kiara with her first basket of the ball game. That was happy among those with whom she was sitting for most of the afternoon. Timeout taken by Todd Mittmesser with 1:37 left in the contest. So we'll take a quick break here. Come back with more on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
You didn't used to hear much in a library. Well, this is no typical library.
The Mary Ida Pugh Library Learning and Information Commons on the Allendale campus has been receiving praise and acclaim from the moment it opened its doors in 2013.
The design came after watching and listening to students, but it also came with Grand Valley's high standards of design and environmental responsibility. The library just earned the highest level of LEED certification by the U.S. Green Building Council. It was awarded platinum status. This library has energy management features that include underfloor air distribution, super efficient exterior walls, a heat recovery system, and a rainwater-fed irrigation system. These save the environment and operating costs. When the university saves money, it can better manage tuition and other costs to students. Now that should give students in this library something to talk about. For Around Grand Valley, I'm Mary Eileen Lyon.
Well, we got a quick restart there and a bucket. Actually, it was a three-pointer for Kayla Geffert. To make it a 63-42 ball game. Grand Valley a travel there. That one called against Lindy Kuspel. Grand Valley's gotten most of the starters out, and the coaches on the bench saying, what's going on with all those travels? But I think they're all good calls, and it's a better game all the way around when they're making that call because defenders are able to defend them. That's a 3 try that just rounded out, almost 2 in a row off the glass. Down inside the final minute. Well, that time they got Taylor Parmley. So probably just one more opportunity here for Hillsdale in this contest as we tick down toward the 30-second mark. That ball knocked off the hands of Geffert, who got it inside. Langs with good defense. Then Langs fouled when she was on the floor. Didn't like that. 4 fouls on Janae Langs. It's going to be a common foul, but we still got the mop crew out there, and we're delayed here shortly. The try will not go. All sorts of people on the deck. Going to get a held ball out of this one with 19 seconds remaining. Hillsdale has it again. Hillsdale got Rachel Smith into the contest at that last break. The freshman from South Lyon, Michigan, on there right now. Maybe she'll get an opportunity. And that is going to be a 5-second call. So Grand Valley with 19 seconds to kill here in game 1 of our doubleheader. Langs just trying to dribble it out. The instructions are not to foul from Hillsdale. Janae Lang still needs to move the ball a little bit to avoid a 5-second call. And that one will end it right there as Langs and the Lakers run off with the win, 63-42. Unofficially, it's Lindsey Baker with 5 threes and 15 points to lead the way for Grand Valley, 14 for Kayla Dawson, 10 for Bailey Cairnduff, 9 for Piper Tucker. And it was Allie Dittmer with 10, Kayla Gefford 7, Morgan Blair with 7 for Hillsdale. So Grand Valley with the win today continues its quest for a divisional title. The Lakers now 10-4 for the season in league play and tied at the top of the North Division. Hillsdale with that defeat falls to a record on the year of 6-8 in GLIAC play, 9-9 overall. Men's game still to come. At 3 o'clock, it's the men, Grand Valley and Hillsdale. So once again, our final score, it's Grand Valley winning game 1 today over Hillsdale, 63-42.